Right, this is for my eBay supplier. I have adjusted this to be so that the float is as low down as possible, so that when it lifts up, I'm actually putting a lot of force on that, and you can still see water coming through here. You can see it lifting it up, it's actually flexing the whole unit, and it's still not making a decent seal. Certainly flowing properly when it's low, as it gets up. Doesn't matter, and eventually that will just overflow everything. Okay, so I'll let it fill up in a moment, and so you can see what it's actually doing. These holes here I've re-drilled only because I didn't have screws big enough. I didn't want to put such a big hole in the wall, and the rust is just because I was using a non-marine grade steel, stainless steel. So, but you'll see eventually the water will actually flow over through these holes because it's just not closing it off. Okay, you can see the float has actually started to close the valve, but it's still trickling. It's not a huge amount, but it's enough to, you know, fill that 20 litre bucket in one day if we leave it there all the time. And that's the best it closes off. It doesn't actually close off any more than that. After a while, you can see the float's really submerged, and it should be sitting on the water really more than that. It's just starting to get to that level there. It'll just keep overflowing, and you should be able to hear it. I'll just move the phone closer. That's still pumping water in, albeit very slowly, but again it's enough to overflow it. It's just started dripping down the back. You can start to see little sediment on top, but it's just bubbles actually more than anything, starting to float through that hole. And that's what we end up with. A pretty steady drip, and it just doesn't stop. So just non-stop, and it fills that 20 litre bucket in a day. Alright, I've taken the valve out. I've made sure it's all clean. There's no obvious obstructions or blockages in it. I can't see how to separate this. Maybe you can. You could possibly tell me how to do that if it's possible, but I can't see how to do that. But it's certainly in straight. And like I said, this is the second one I've had, first of yours, of this design, but